G'day, this is Rhino Barrows. Yes, I'm topless. Yes, I am bare-chested, but this is not a V-rant. Well, the point of me doing bare-chested V-rants is to prove that I have nothing to hide. I'm hiding behind nothing, and I feel free to say what I've been saying. But this is different. It is hot here. It's 11:15 at night. It's on the 30th of November, 2012. It has been pretty hot spring this year, and it's not an excuse for my V-rants, but that's what it's been like. But instead of putting on a singlet and that to do this, I thought I'd be laid back and truly Aussie or Australian to just be laid back and let things fly. This is about the Australian slang and Australian terminologies and Australian lingo. I'm just explaining some things to you, the world, who do not understand what we say. For instance, we have a thing when we say aerial ping pong in Australia, and you come over here between late January to October, and you hear the terminology aerial ping pong. We're not talking about like a ping pong table suspended in midair and people wearing harnesses and dangling in midair playing ping pong. No. It is referring to a sport that we play called Australian rules football. It is not saying that. It's not a general statement about Australians and football in general. As we know, we don't have the best soccer union and league teams. That's the like rugby union, rugby league, and soccer or football if you're in Europe. It's a sport that we play here in Australia, and it is like a pointed oval-shaped ball that is played on a cricket pitch, and people pop the ball, and there's teams like the Adelaide Crows, Collingwood Magpies, which is one of my favourite teams. Is actually my favourite AFL team because I'm not, and the Sydney Swans. When you hear like aerial ping pong, and then hear Sydney Swans versus Carlton, it's a game that it's a football code that has been played here in Australia. Another one is amber fluid. Amber fluid, it's referring to a particular beverage that Australia drinks predominantly during weekends, but also drinks in it used to be predominantly big events, like a wedding. Over here in Australia we have a thing called the 18th, 21st, 25, and like each 10, in the 30 and 40, 50, 60 going up, and various other such celebrations, including public holidays. We drink this particular fluid. It's called beer. Amber fluid means beer. That's what the color is. It is amber and it's a fluid. So we put the two together when we don't put it. When we just leave it at that. It's simple. Give me some amber fluid, mate. And if you say that here in Australia, people know what you're talking about. And over here in Australia, we have a terminology called ankle biter. Before you think, oh, that's to do something a bit kinky and a bit on the sexual side. It is, and look at me being, being topless. That's It is a fair. I will give you that. It is a fair misconception. But over here in Australia, an ankle biter means child or children. Predominantly small children and small child. It's like a toddler, it's just like the from the late years where you can call someone toddler to like with the a baby, that the entire time is called they're literally called an ankle biter. Oh, I can remember little Johnny when it was an ankle biter, as like old people would be saying here in Australia. We have here another thing we have in Australia. We have the thing called an arvo. It's spelled ARVO. It is a shortened way of saying afternoon. It'd be like me speaking to one of my friends. I say, "Hey Dan, see you 2 o'clock Saturday arvo." It's to say 2 o'clock. That's the time, and arvo means afternoon. See you 2 in the afternoon. That's what we say. It makes things a bit quicker and that to put things in our diaries and such in such and so forth. We have a thing called, we just have we say this Aussies, how you hear during some well, predominantly during this the 2000 summer games, we have Aussie Aussie Aussie, oi oi oi, Aussie Aussie Aussie, oi oi oi. Aussie, it's a shortened way of saying Australian. There we're going. Yeah, as we have a song called "Come On Aussie, Come On," "Come On Australian, Come On." Because that's more of a cricketing thing, which we have quite on the top, a bit on the lost my train of thought there. There's a thing called the Aussie salute or the Australian salute. This is what I'm doing now. If you hear like a, that's called an Aussie salute. An Aussie salute is to brush away flies with a hand. Like you can do it with your right hand or you can do it with your left hand. And people know, oh, a fly's around that fella or a fly's around that girl's face, And we have a fruity. We have a I think you'll find in guacamole. We call it avos. Not to get confused with arvos. We have avos. Avos is short for avocados. Things you put in guacamole and very tasty in sandwiches. Which is can you put some avo on that sanger, mate? Sanger will be or something along those lines. Another saying we have is called back of Burke. It's not to make reference to anyone by the last name of Burke, or even a man by the name of Burke, saying like something's on their back, is referring to a place. And when we say back of Burke, it's we say, and so when we say back of Burke, we mean it is a very far or very very far away, or take us. It is a lengthy journey to get there, or it is a very sizable distance away from where we are. We have and this is something that you don't want to get done to you when you're here in Australia. It's called bailer, or bail someone up. It is to corner or to encircle someone physically with a group of people. Or in other countries you would say gang up on someone. You've heard this terminology before, like say to throw another shrimp on the barbie. If you don't know what a barbie is, we're not throwing seafood on the American supermodel figure. I can't say action figure. It's a supermodel figure. It's talking about the device that we have here in Australia called the barbecue. Is the cooking implement that we throw the seafood on, or as I would like to say, hey mate, you want me to throw some steak on that barbie for you? And you go, yeah mate, yeah, I'll get to you later, or even at a part 2 or 3 video of this. It is we do borrow some ones from England, since this country has been colonized from the English. There's one prior to this called it is a bit of a derogative term. I won't say it, but we do with the borrowing thing. We have bangers and mash, which is sausage and potato. But there is a terminology here where we say barrack or barracking. We're not referring to like an army thing, like we're going to such and such barrack, or going from such and such barrack to such and such a barrack. To barrack here in Australia is to cheer or to support something. Predominantly it's done for sport, like we barrack for our Olympic swimmers, we barrack for our football teams. It's you have to cheer, it's like to go cheering on, And for me to be saying, I barrack for the Manchester United Football Club. Go the Reds! We have a term. We have this thing called it is a confusing terminology. It's called bastard. B-A-S-T-A-R-D. Bastard. It is a bit of a humorous thing we say. Sometimes we mean it as good, sometimes we mean it as a bit of a derogative thing, like just like and like say, "Hey Jeff, get on here, you bastard," you know. That's like a certain term of affection, a term of endearment. And then we go, "Hey Baza, you are a dumb bastard." That means that's a derogative thing. Even this thing called and which I'll get to this one word a bit later on in this particular list. We do have a thing called a battler. A little battler. It refers to someone working hard just to make a decent living, you know. Or that's one hard little battler you got there. And this is like a universal thing, you know. Oh, she's a battler, he's a battler. Mate, your dog's a battler. You know, we just get on those types of terminologies. We do have a terminology. It is quite obvious to say to big note oneself, or to big note yourself. It's someone who brags and boasts about what they've done. It's like someone catching like a fish the size of this beer bottle and this can as you see here, like that, that size fish. But yet, when they get to the mates, they go, "Oh, mate, you should have seen the fish. It was this big." You can't see the fingertip to fingertip, but that's big noting yourself. You're boasting, you're bragging on what you have done. We have a thing called bickies. B-I-K-K-I-E-S. It means biscuit. You know, you put them on a plate. You biscuit or cookie. There's also a terminology that refers to it. It costs a big bicky, which means it is expensive. We do have another one. I'm going off what I've learned over the years. I've got like a list over on that side. Since I'm using my laptop, I'm reading off the computer as well, which I've learnt. You might have seen this brand. It's called a Billabong. And no to you, marijuana smoking, hippie druggo types. Billabong doesn't refer to someone being stoned or Bill, in such a relaxed state he hallucinates. Billabong, it is a watering hole, simple as that. But predominantly like a bit of a bow in the river. I'll just leave it there for this video, but I will be doing part 2. And yeah, I hope that this has given you an education of from A to a bit of B, and hopefully you would see you'll see something in future videos. I've been Rhino Barrows, and see you later, mate.